Hello everyone, welcome back. So today it's about 48 degrees outside. It's kind of rainy. It's just a miserable day, but it's actually warm for wintertime. But instead of going out and doing stuff because it's all muddy, what we're going to be doing is we're going to do some cold smoking out here on the walk out of the basement. So recently we've been doing a lot of experimenting with food through the wintertime. We've tried making, we've cured our own bacon, we've made our own smoked sausage. We've made our own homemade bratwurst. And today what we did is we have tried to cure our own salmon. So we did a salt cured piece of salmon, and we are going to cold smoke that out here. And while we're cold smoking that, we're going to go ahead and smoke some cheese as well. I really like smoked cheese, and that's what we're going to do. So this is going to be super easy, super cheap to do. All you really need is like some kind of a grill to kind of contain the food and the smoke inside of, you know, for the process. We're not going to actually run the grill. We're just going to need it as a container. So you could use like an old charcoal grill or something that you don't use no more. It would work fantastic. So what we're going to use to generate the smoke is we're going to use, you need some kind of smoke generator, and there's a bunch of different types out there. Some that run on sawdust, some that run on wood pellets, and what I have is I have one. This is like, I think they call it like a smoker tube. So it actually has like little holes all the way through. It's got holes in the end, and then you fill it up in this end, and what you use is you use wood pellets. So it's the same wood pellets that we would use back here on this pellet grill, and you fill this up with the wood pellets, and then you get it burning. Once you get it burning, we're going to blow it. We're going to let it burn and get hot, and then we're going to blow it out. It's just going to sit there and smolder and make smoke, and this will make smoke for like 4 hours or something. So this will smoke for quite a long time, and you can actually use this for in a grill that you're using, you know, and cooking with too, to try to add smoke flavor. And I've experimented with that, and I find that this actually just seems to do its best job when cold smoking. It seems like if you put it in a grill that's working, it either just doesn't produce enough smoke, or it ends up kind of making the pellets burn faster, and it doesn't smoke as long. So this thing just, I mean, this thing where it excels, this is great at cold smoking. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and get some wood pellets out and fill this thing up, and I'll show you how it works. So I've got a bag of apple wood pellets. We're just going to fill this tube up. I've used this quite a bit, so I've found that the quality of pellets really does matter, and it matters if they're how dry they are. And you will be able to tell when you initially try to light it how good the pellets are. So I definitely suggest, if you're going to use this, to store wood pellets inside and use just really dry wood pellets. So the easiest way to light this thing is to actually use a torch. So hopefully you got a torch, and then we're just going to get this thing burning. So once we get this thing lit, it should actually burn on its own, and we're going to let it sit and burn for probably 5 minutes, just to make sure that it's nice and hot, and that everything's going to stay burning. It is a little windy out here today, so this may be difficult to keep this actually going. So this smoker tube is actually made out of stainless steel, and it can take this heat. You can see that I've got it glowing red, and I've done this several times. It doesn't affect this whatsoever. So on this smoker tube, you will see that there's actually one side that doesn't have as many holes in it. That's the bottom side. So when we're ready to get going, we'll lay it down on that bottom side, and if you have really good wood pellets, it will stay burning on its own, and you have to blow it out. So you just have to give it a good puff of air. It'll go out, and then you get a bunch of smoke. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to lay that over here on this one side, and let's go ahead and get our cheese and our salmon. Okay. See, it's making smoke. So here's our salmon and our cheese that we're going to smoke. I guess I'll just move that a little farther this direction. So one other thing I'm going to do is I've got a temperature probe here. So I'm going to stick this kind of inside of here just so I can monitor the temperature in here and make sure it doesn't get hot. So there we go. So right now it's reading about 46 degrees, 48 degrees it says. So we'll come back later and we'll make sure that it isn't getting too hot in here. But I'm really confident that that smoker tube does not produce too much heat. So this has been cold smoking now for about 2 hours and 20 minutes. And the temperature is reading 64 degrees. So basically it's raised the temperature just a little bit less than 20 degrees. And you can see why you want to do it on a cool day. But we're still holding below 85 degrees. So it's still got a good cold smoke going. I'm going to go ahead and open this up and just see how everything's looking. Take this. Oh yeah, it's looking good. So the smoke tube is all the way down to here, so it's already over halfway done. So I might not get a quite 4 hours out of it, but pretty much as soon as that's done smoking, that's when we'll probably go ahead and remove all this. But so far it's looking pretty good. All right, so it seems to be done smoking now, and it's only 63 degrees in there right now. So open it up, and there it is, the smoker tube. But there's just a little wisp of smoke still coming from it. So I think this worked out pretty good. It's kind of hard to tell. The light, I'm losing my light, but the cheese has got a little bit of a dark tint to it, and hopefully the salmon's going to have a nice smoky flavor. So this smoker tube does a really good job at cold smoking. You can also use it if you're cooking chicken or something in there as well, but definitely if you want to try to find a way to cold smoke where you don't need to spend a lot of money, you can pick this up fairly cheap at Amazon. So I'm going to go ahead and take this salmon and cheese in the house and get it cooling down. So we got all that food that we cold smoked the other day. We got that all kind of packaged up and put to the fridge. And for the cheese, what I like to do for the cheese is I just like to put it in a vacuum seal bag, and I like to put the date on there. And cheese is super bitter when you first smoke it, and you got to let it kind of age for the flavor to kind of mellow out, for that bitterness to mellow out. And so I, like to wait at least 3 weeks. Kind of the longer you wait, the better, as far as smoked cheese is concerned. And then that salmon, we were doing a salt cured salmon, and it's kind of still a raw salmon, but it's already been cured with salt, because we let it sit in salt for a few days in the refrigerator, and it basically cured this salmon before we cold smoked it. And then what you do is you just slice it into thin slices, and then you could eat it as a snack on crackers, or there's different ways you can just kind of snack on this. But it's probably an acquired taste. It was something different. But if you buy this in a store, it is like really expensive. So this was just kind of us playing around, seeing if we could make it at home. So anyway, if you're interested in cold smoking, one of those cold smoking tubes is like, or any one of those little smoke generators that either burn the dust or the wood pellets, you should be able to get one of them fairly cheaply, and it's just a real inexpensive way to be able to cold smoke. Just as long as it's cold outside, you got cold weather, it works out really well. So anyway, that's it for this video, guys. I just wanted to share what we were doing. It's just something different we were doing today. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. So it's been burning now for about 5 minutes, and this is where the neat part starts. This is where the little kid in you comes out, because now it's got these nice hot coals, and you can just kind of blow on them to get them going. You can see it's kind of a neat process, but you can kind of get it pretty hot, you know. So what you're supposed to do now at this point in time is you actually need to blow it out. But you have to get the right amount of air to blow it out.